name of, it's not her real name. Her name should be Aaliyah. She's going to change it when she gets in here. If you could let her in, we'd appreciate it.
I'm also in the waiting room too. Okay, I think I'm in. Thank you.
Perfect.
Yo.
Hello. We're on live stream right now, FYI.
Okay.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. So here with us, we have a phenomenal panel of illustrious students from Howard University who are all student ambassadors. We have people from almost every single class, from sophomores up to seniors. Before we get started, I would like all of our student ambassadors to go around and give their Howard intros, and we can start with Naya.
Hi, everyone. My name is Naya Farrington. I'm a graduating senior, nursing major, political science minor from Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Thank you so much. Kendall?
Hey, everyone. My name is Kendall Robinson. I'm a graduating senior, painting major from Atlanta, Georgia.
Awesome. Summer?
Hi, everyone. My name is Summer Brown. I'm a junior honors broadcast journalism major, political science minor from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Welcome.
Thank you. Alafia?
Hello, everybody. My name is Alafia Bailey, and I'm a junior Africana Studies and Psychology minor, Houston, Texas.
Thank you. Zakia?
Hi, everyone. I'm Zakia Tooks, and I'm a junior television and film major, theater arts minor from Atlanta, Georgia.
Thank you so much. Autumn?
Hi, everyone. My name is Autumn Edwards. I am a sophomore computer engineering major, mathematics minor from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Olivia?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Olivia Enda. I'm a graduating senior elementary education major from Western Massachusetts.
And last but not least, Ocean?
Hello, everyone. My name is Ocean Latimer. I'm a junior honors marketing major, sports administration minor from Los Angeles, California.
Awesome. And thank you guys so much for introducing yourselves. And let's just hop right into what life is like at the Mecca. So Naya, can you tell us what you're involved in on campus that represents your passions?
So one of the first things I joined when I got to Howard was my state club. You'll find that that's something super common that Howard students do, being that we are the Mecca. It's super common for you to come here and want to find your group of people. So I joined North Carolina Club. I'm also a member of Revolt Incorporated, which is a community service-based organization that focuses on enriching women and empowering youth here in the DC community. I'm also a member of the College of Nursing and Allied Health Sciences as my college here on campus. And there, throughout my matriculation, I've been able to serve as the director of mentorship for my college, ensuring that every student within the college has a mentor and a mentee if they desire. I'm also a member of the nursing club here at Howard. Again, something to just progress me into my career and doing that community service as I aspire to be a nurse. And then I've also been able to serve as a resident assistant, making sure that all of my residents within the Harriet Tubman Quadrangle are able to grow throughout their first year living on campus in a dorm. And I've also been lucky enough to be a student ambassador and welcome future students and aspiring students to our campus.
Wow. So obviously you've been busy here at the Mecca. Thank you so much for that very descriptive rundown of all your activities. Next, Kendall, I was wondering, as a student in fine arts, what has your experience been like in the program, and what is it like to study your major?
So, hi everyone. My name is Kendall. Like I said before, honestly, what I've gotten from my experience being in the Chadwick Boseman College of Fine Arts has been something that is so invaluable to me. I've always loved art ever since I was a child, but being at Howard at my HBCU was the first time that I was not only being taught by Black artists, but surrounded by Black artists as well. So I really feel like that experience has instilled me with the confidence to go out and get opportunities. As a student in fine arts, there are so many opportunities that are being catered to HBCU artists as a whole. For example, since I've been working professionally as a sophomore year, since my sophomore year, I've been able to work with Beats by Dre, Warner Music Group. I'm a Converse All-Star, and I recently was commissioned by Monkey Paw and Universal Pictures to do a painting for the new Candyman movie as well. So there's so many opportunities that you can just go ahead and get out now, and you don't have to graduate to wait and to start working.
I wish you all could see her painting in the administration building. It is absolutely stunning. So thank you so much for telling us about that experience. So now we're going to talk about what it's like going to a university that may be across the nation. So Miss Summer, how was your transition from Michigan to Washington, D.C.? And were there any organizations that aided you in this transition?
For sure. So my transition from Grand Rapids, Michigan to Washington, D.C. was a very big deal for me. I come from West Michigan, nowhere near Detroit, nowhere near Flint, really nowhere near any Black people. So I grew up in a predominantly white town, always the token Black girl. And going to Washington, D.C. and just seeing how progressive it is and seeing how there's a lot of young African Americans are successful was really inspiring to me. It is also a college town that definitely influenced my decision when choosing Howard University, because I saw a lot of people my age, a lot of people that thought differently and just wanted to see me succeed. So it was very different. It was monumental in just my growth and development as a person and as a Black young woman in America. I would say that the Michigan club, like Naya said, our state clubs definitely aided my experience, because even when I did miss home or my Michigan friends, I could just go to Michigan club meetings and be reminded of the Midwest. So that was cool.
Awesome. I'm definitely tagging along with you to the Midwest during our winter recess. But Alafia, as an Africana American study major, what has been the most surprising thing to you within your program?
I'll say the most surprising or just really interesting thing is how like Afrocentric our curriculum is, and like how we really connect everything from the beginning of African civilizations and us, really understanding the roots of Africana and Africana history and things of that sort. So it's just like really, really amazing just to understand your roots and understand who you are and whose you are as a Black person, and just really studying that every day to get a more understanding of Africana history to teach others. So yeah, I think that's the main thing. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. So next I'm going to talk to my wonderful School of Communication peer, Zakia. As a media, journalism, and film major, you have one of the most popular majors on campus, as we do. So do you find that the energy in the School of Communications and within our program to be more competitive or more collaborative?
I would say that it's more collaborative because, well, one, we do a lot of group projects. I currently take cinematography, and in the class, we're learning how to be great cinematographers on set. But along with that, we have to actually kind of write and then find a director. Then we have to find actors. So it's kind of like we collab with everyone just to get the more realistic experience rather than you doing everything. In addition, I just feel like and a lot of my classmates, we go to each other for ideas, or we'll let each other see our films. So I don't really say that, I wouldn't say that it's very competitive, more so that we get inspired from each other and take advice from each other. because we're all creatives and it's like important for us to, you know, hear from each other about our work. So I would definitely say that it's more collaborative.
I could not agree more. Thank you so much for that answer. Autumn, I was wondering, what are your career goals and what has the College of Engineering and Architecture done to help ensure that you reach your goals?
Some of my career goals include going back to school after I get my undergraduate degree, pursuing a degree in aerospace engineering for a PhD or robotics. And some of the things that the College of Engineering and Architecture has done is right now I'm currently doing undergraduate research in the College of Engineering and Architecture. So the professors are really open and they really want to see you succeed. My research is with a professor who is actually working with the NASA department right now. And so the research is really amazing and you just have so many different opportunities to do hands-on research as a sophomore in my only second year in college. So it's such an amazing experience.
Thank you. Olivia, like many of us, you attended a predominantly white institution. So what did it mean to you coming to the Mecca after all of those other experiences in grade school?
It was definitely one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life, simply just like stepping out of something that became my comfort zone and stepping into a learning community that really was an extension of cultural connections and identifying with my professors and peers and extending my learning beyond the classroom because I was finally able to identify beyond what I was reading or what whitewashed my curriculum has become. And even being an education major, I know how important it is to be represented in your education, whether that is the extra resources that you have or the access you have. So it definitely was a step in the right direction. Again, one of the best decisions I've ever made. Just simply finding myself amongst other people was really a rewarding experience and continues to be today.
Thank you so much. So although our homecoming will be virtual this year and all of us are shedding a tear, I guess I'll redirect this question. Did anybody attend homecoming before enrolling in Howard University here on our panel?
I did. Homecoming was a super special opportunity for me. I'm from the South, so homecoming is always something that we really look forward to. But Howard Homecoming is truly an experience that is one like no other. It's a great opportunity for you to network. And as a prospective student coming to homecoming, you're able to see what that looks like from not being a student. So you're able to see how a member from the class of 95 can talk to a current student and relate to them. You might find an alum that is in a career position that you aspire to be in, or you might talk to an alum that held a position that you aspire to hold on campus, and you'll realize that that networking opportunity is something that homecoming at Howard really encompasses. We love our Yard Fest, we love the fashion show, we love the step show, but that networking opportunity and ability that you get is something that homecoming really embodies every year. So once you come, really look forward to getting to know somebody that week and really engaging in all of those networking opportunities that you can.
Thank you so much, Naya. And I hate to put you on the spot just one more time, but with Howard University being an open campus and in an urban environment, what safety measures do you have on campus to ensure student safety?
So one of the main safety mechanisms that we have on campus is our blue light safety. So throughout our campus, you'll find blue light mechanisms that you can press a red button and a Howard University police officer will be dispatched to you. In the event that you can't stay there, they're located throughout our campus, so they will know where to find you. We also have something called the Bison Safe App that has really helped us throughout this pandemic. Not only is it allowing us to keep a monitor on our student safety and protocol, knowing who has had access or who has been exposed to someone that might have symptoms of COVID-19. It's also being used for things like safety rides on campus. So in the event that you're in the library late at night or you're in a dorm, you can use our safety ride mechanism on campus for a Howard University police officer to come and take you from that location you're at and take you to another location on campus. But our Bison Safe App is the hub of our safety mechanisms on campus. But I always tell prospective students to also use your good judgment. We are in an urban campus and an urban environment in a metropolitan area. So don't forget that when you come here to Howard, don't go anywhere by yourself. Don't go anywhere by yourself, especially at night, but always keep those tools in mind once you come.
Yeah, she also did not mention that DC has really great brunch. So I just thought that I'd throw that in there myself. But besides that, Kendall, since you started at Howard, what have you been involved with on campus? You already talked about what you've done for your career a little bit, but talk to us a little bit about your extracurricular activities.
Yes, so Howard is just full of so many opportunities for career advancement. We have career fairs quite literally every month. Once you become a student here, you will get an email from Handshake probably every day just telling you about a company that's on campus, trying to recruit you, or just so you can learn more information. We're also a very internship heavy culture as well. So a lot of our students get internships starting the summer after their freshman year. We start super early. So I feel like that has always been helpful. For me specifically, I think being able to participate in student art shows on campus. My college hosts an art show once a year, and students are able to create pieces and submit them. And so it's a really nice way to kind of get that gallery experience and to just stand by your art and tell people about it. I've also been able to get into the public art sphere in DC as well. And that was an opportunity that was brought to me by my professor. I would say the biggest thing that Howard has given me that has helped me in my career is actually intangible. It's just the confidence of just moving in your space as a Black woman, as a Black person. I feel like once you go to Howard and you realize that you're just surrounded by so many great people trying to do amazing things, it's like, well, let me just keep hustling. Let me just go out for this, because I think the biggest thing I've learned is that there are so many people who are less qualified, but they're getting opportunities because they're putting themselves out there. So just put yourself out there.
I could not have said that better. Thank you so much for that answer, Kendall. Summer, I'm going to ask you one of the hardest questions I think we have on our panel, and that is, what makes Howard University so special? There are a million things, so just try to pick a few.
There's a million things I could say. I guess I can share what made it special to me when I was making my college decision. I went on an HBCU tour, and I basically went to almost every HBCU on the East Coast, up and down, so from like Delaware all the way down to North Carolina, and Virginia. So I got to see a lot of HBCUs, but the things that set Howard apart for me and what made it very special were, number one, the location. Because we're in Washington, D.C., now that I've been a student here, I'm learning is so much more than like museums and history and national history, but it's so cultural, and it has so much history and just so much Black history. It's a really beautiful thing. And so does the DMV, DC, Maryland, and Virginia. It's a great area to live. It's a college area. There are lots of other universities and places to explore. So that was one reason. And then the second reason that made it special to me was definitely our Alumni Network. We have a lot of notable alumni from Howard University. Every time I wear a Howard sweatshirt out in public, I meet someone that has something fabulous to say about our school, fabulous to say about our vice president, fabulous to say something fabulous to say about lots of our alumni. So I do want to be a part of that network, and I do want to rep Howard forever. And that was definitely what made it special to me.
Awesome. You definitely touch on it. Once you're a Bison, you're definitely a Bison for life. So thank you so much for that answer. Alafia, I was wondering what diversity looks like on Howard's campus to you.
So I know just coming to Howard, even before Howard, I know people always had this stigma about HBCUs. You know, HBCUs aren't diverse enough. HBCUs, you know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna get you prepared for the real world because you're not around white people all day. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of diversity is not just race. I mean, diversity is gender, diversity is like all types of intersectionalities, right? And religion, you know, sex, and, you know, backgrounds, you know, different communities, different nations, you know what I mean, from people from all over the African diaspora in terms of HBCUs, right? So I think, like, even just my first year at Howard, when I was in Drew Hall, I had brothers from London, brothers from, you know, Nigeria, brothers from Alaska, and all from different backgrounds. And we was like really diverse in all areas of life, right? And in terms of the race part, because people believe, you know what I mean, if you're around whiteness, all that, you become more professional, but that's a false idea. But at Howard University, we prepare people to be professional in the real world. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are like the top people, you know what I'm saying? Like, HBCUs prepare people in the rooms for professionalism all the time. So like, You don't have to go to a white school to become professional. That's all it is. You can go to HBCU and be around Black people all day and still thrive in the quote unquote white world. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what diversity looks like to me.
I cannot have said that better. Okay, we see you, Lafayette. Thank you for that question. So Zakia, I'm glad that I don't have to answer this because I would literally go on forever. But how was your freshman residence hall experience, and what were your favorite dining options on and off campus?
So my freshman year, I stayed in the Harriet Tubman Quadrangle, and I chose to stay there because I really wanted to create those genuine relationships when I got to campus. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and Howard is very far from home. So I knew I wanted to have a way, to just create those bonds, but I really enjoyed staying there. My hall, we kind of had an open door policy where we would leave our doors open throughout the day. And if you ever needed something, if you just needed anything, something to cook with, or if you just needed, a piece of paper, anything, you could feel free to come in and ask for it. I feel like that was very great for us to have because it also helped us to bond better. Also, we will host events like mental health days or days where we'll just do face masks and, self-care days. So I feel like having those events not only helped me to create those relationships, but just helped me to adjust to Howard better. Because I was very homesick for a while. So I really enjoyed staying there. Also, a lot of people are worried about the communal restrooms, but it was never a problem for me. The restrooms are cleaned twice a day. So never did I ever have a problem with that. As far as my favorite dining hall, so Howard has 2 dining halls on campus, Bethune Annex, and also we have Blackburn. In Blackburn, we have a dining hall, and also we have Punch Out. So Blackburn is my favorite dining hall to eat at because I like Punch Out. It just gives you more options. And I also like Soul Food Thursdays from Blackburn. And off campus, I really love Chipotle, so I would have to say Chipotle is my favorite off-campus restaurant.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I was a quad girl as well. Our panelist Summer lived a floor above me and she used to be stomping on my floor, but we're over it now. But Autumn, I was wondering what advice you would give to prospective students that are applying to Howard University.
I would tell all prospective students that are applying to Howard University to really not be afraid to brag about themselves in their application. You have all these good things that you've done in high school. So the application is your time to showcase it, your time to shine, to let everybody know what you've done. And I would also tell the prospective applicants to really not be afraid to ask questions and to reach out to people like ambassadors, to different org pages that you see that you might like. Really anyone that you know that goes to Howard, even if you don't know them, they have Howard in their bio. Don't be afraid to DM them, ask them any questions that you have. I know I did that a lot when I was applying, and I applied during that COVID season, so we couldn't tour or anything. So I just had to ask all the questions that I wanted to ask to know about the school. So that's what I would say.
Thank you so much for that answer. Olivia, with internship culture being so heavy on campus, what internships have you had during your career here at Howard?
Definitely has become a culture of thriving and success. And that really does come through with just being surrounded with people who are all striving. And that comes from the access to Handshake and the career fairs and just honestly networking with professors and other peers. But in my personal experience, it started my sophomore year. I got my first internship actually back home, but also through a network of knowing my professor here who connected me back to a Massachusetts Teach Grant, which allowed me to work with juniors, seniors, grad students, superintendents, teachers, with all in the school district that I actually went through. And the purpose was to diversify the teacher population within my community, seeing that it is a predominantly white community. So that was really interesting to work along with the people that taught me and just kind of get hands-on experience within classrooms and just a shift of environment of how I wanted to teach. I also was able to, through that internship, be connected to the NAACP, the Western Mass Berkshire chapter as an education consultant. So over the virtual COVID year and a half or so, I was able to have like pod learning and host various events through social media and Zoom, playing like little games with kids who just needed an extra boost to be encouraged to look at a screen for just a little bit longer. So that was very interesting. Last school year, I was able to work with NASA actually as an interviewer for SMEs who actually were like rocket scientists, and kind of showing them how they can assimilate some of their language practices for children within the DMV. So that was also really great. And now I'm working in the DC schools. It's actually built into our curriculum to intern for the first semester. So I'm every day waking up at 8 o'clock or waking up at like 6:45, but going to school at 8 o'clock as if I was in high school again to 3:30 in a first grade classroom. So that's been pretty interesting thus far, but it really is a step into the right direction. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity just kind of to be in the positions that I know I want to be in terms of my career goals and paths. And it really just comes down to just having the access that Howard grants you. So it's been a lot, but I'm really excited to see what happens next.
Yes. Oh my gosh. You just said so much. Sounds like you're doing a lot of impactful work before you graduated, which I think is the beauty of Howard, is getting that experience before you actually have that degree in hand. So thank you for testifying to that. Ocean, I was wondering, why did you come to Howard Homecoming your senior year of high school? And how did that visit impact your decision to enroll here at Howard?
Okay, so first, my dad went to Howard. So really just knowing that I'm starting the story off wrong. Basically, my dad went to Howard and I went to a PWI, which is a predominantly white institution in LA that was an all boys Catholic school. So I really didn't have the outlook to go to an HBCU. So my dad always told me he was going to take me to Howard Homecoming, and he ended up taking me my senior year of high school. When I went, it was like a completely different experience because I was able to go to Yard Fest. I was able to go to all the events that were happening during the week, but then I was also able to do my tour, and I was able to see the School of Business. So it was amazing because I got to network with the alumni that were in way, just a lot of different industries. And being able to see that I would get a solid education, I'd be able to have fun, and I would have an amazing alumni network when I graduated really made me realize that Howard was where I needed to be.
Awesome. And I'm going to give you rapid fire. So I was also wondering what you're involved in and how do you balance your extracurricular activities with your academics?
Okay, so I'm currently the program director for the Undergraduate Student Assembly. I'm on the advisory board for the Men of the Mecca initiative. I am a student ambassador, and I'm also a part of the International Fraternity of Delta Sigma Pi Iota Rho chapter. It's really just about managing your time and just figuring out what you can and can't do. So for 3 of my organizations, I hold e-board positions, and then there's one organization where I don't. And, it's not me disregarding the orgs I'm in, because it's always about giving 100% to all the organizations that you join because it is a commitment, but it's really about prioritizing your time and knowing that you hold a higher role in certain places than you do in others. And you kind of have to pass the baton and let other people take care of it. But if they need your help, just be there to support them. I just keep a calendar. So I make sure that all my classes are in order. Any meetings that I have, I put my school first. And then I just make sure that, like I said, anything that I commit to, I'm able to fulfill it, because the last thing you want to do is overextend yourself and then you just can't back up what you say.
Yes, I know that a lot of us on this panel are shaking our heads a lot because here at Howard, we all want to be a part of everything. So thank you so much for talking about how we can balance that all. And so now, Naya, as a graduating senior, how have you and your professors and your academic advisors been able to help you over your journey here at Howard?
I want to start by saying that question sounds so surreal. I don't know how I'm a senior. I don't know how I got here, but wow. So the great thing about my professors being a nursing major is many of them still practice nursing. So all of my professors, while they are in education and they're helping me become a nurse, they are still getting those hands-on experiences by practicing. So a lot of my professors are NPs or RN, so they're able to provide us with those real-world experiences as times are evolving in the nursing field. For example, with the pandemic, a lot of nurses kind of stepped down from their role, or if nurses were in education, they were no longer in the hospital, but my professors were able to help us as students going into this pandemic to learn how to adjust and go into this pandemic in a full swing. In terms of my advisors, the same thing. They're also practicing nurses or physicians or NPs. So with that, they're also able to provide me with opportunities to either experience, intern, or extern. One of my advisors actually put on the nursing student fair. So different colleges will have either different career fairs, either for their college or their school or specific to their major. And so through that, I was able to get one of my externships this summer at Duke. So those opportunities that you're able to foster with your professors and your advisors are what give you these great opportunities to network on Howard's campus and beyond.
Thank you so much for that wonderful answer. Kendall, with 5 of the Divine 9 being found on Howard's campus, describe our Greek life and how it helps the culture here at Howard University.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm a proud member of Alpha Chapter Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Honestly, I feel like being a member of Greek life has enriched my HBCU experience. I feel like I kind of just did the whole thing. So, but I would say that we're very active on campus. We do have a full yard right now, which means that all of our Divine 9 organizations have active members on campus, and you can see them singing or strolling on the yard sometimes on First Fridays. I would say we have maintained a very active social presence, but the best thing about the org is that you get to do both. So while we have an active social presence, we also get to host events for different students on campus and just educate them about different things that are happening within the Black community. I always tell my tour groups whenever I do give tours that being at Howard is like walking through a history book. And so just being able to be a member of an organization that has, 1, impacted the Black community so heavily, and 2, was founded on campus, I just feel very blessed to be a part of the whole thing.
Thank you so much for talking to us about that. Summer, I was wondering, what is your favorite memories at Howard so far as a student?
Wow, for sure. There's been so many great experiences on campus that I've had, and even virtually, trying to get, acclimated and get to know other people in my classes and organizations. But I can definitely say that my favorite moments on campus, and I'm not even exaggerating, were my moments in the Harriet Tubman Quadrangle, my freshman girls dorm. Like, I can remember specific moments where I made lifelong friends. And that's something that's really cool to me now. My roommate now is a girl that lived on my floor. And sure, going out is fun, going to brunch is fun, getting all cute, but some of the best nights I've ever had were just, laying in my friend's bed, talking, getting to know them, like really opening up to these young ladies. And I really believe like I made lifelong sisters there. So those were definitely, and by far have still been my favorite moments on campus.
I know we got cut short because of the pandemic, and people don't know I would pay $1 million to be able to go back to freshman year, but thank you for that answer. Alafia, I was wondering how your experience has been getting acclimated to being back on campus after being closed during the pandemic.
Oh, it's been an experience. I think, so I have a unique experience. I'm specifically off campus. I stay off campus an hour, and just getting acclimated back to campus has been a journey in terms of just being an adult and taking responsibilities, picking classes or dealing with finances, things like that. But overall, just the campus energy has been on 10, and just meeting new people, meeting new friends, and just getting back on my people as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's been all love the whole time. So yeah.
Great. I'm happy to hear that you're happy to be back. So as we all know, college is a pretty difficult time just in life and in academics as well. So Zakia, I was wondering, what are some things that have kept you encouraged and motivated during this unprecedented time during COVID, but also just college as a whole?
Yes, so one thing I will say is during COVID, I had the opportunity to intern as a productions assistant on a Disney show. And I want to write and direct. So being on set helped motivate me to see where I want to be. And it kind of, because, during COVID, I wasn't as motivated as usual being online. I'm a person, I have to learn it in person. So it kind of had me just really over school. But once I received the opportunity to intern, it really did motivate me, because it's like you have to like get back on grind mode and work harder so that you can get to where you want to be. I know I was talking to a lot of Black directors, and they were just telling me that sometimes directors or writers come on set and they don't really know, how to deal with other departments. And one thing I feel like Howard does a good job with is preparing us of how to not just write, but also direct. And as I mentioned earlier, like I'm taking a cinematography class. And even though I don't want to be a cinematographer, like I'll still kind of know how to navigate that department. So I think that was very important. And it just motivated me to want to work harder and know that once we get back on campus, like it's grind mode, like it's time to get in class, find more internships and just really invest more into myself, since I know that's what I want to do. The second thing I would say that helped me is I'm like a huge advocate of going to HBCUs and Howard more specifically. So during COVID, I did do a lot of like virtual sessions where I would talk to high school students about going to HBCUs and how to receive scholarships. So I feel like that just motivated me, hearing from them about how excited they are and things like that. That kind of just kept me pushing, and it kind of took me back to like why I wanted to go to Howard and how I felt as a senior. So.
Well, thank you so much for doing that. Like you said, it was very hard to do anything during the pandemic. So thanks for taking your time to talk to somebody else. Autumn, this is a very hard question, and I would love to hear from anybody else on our panel if they're up for the challenge. But if you had to describe Howard University in one word, what would it be and why?
Okay, so I was thinking about this for a long time, and I think that my word would be family. I am from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I'm a sophomore, so I didn't have my freshman year on campus. So I really didn't see that family atmosphere until like a month ago, because I got to school to DC a month ago, and meeting all of my friends that I met online, meeting all my professors, they really just had that family atmosphere. They were so welcoming. They were so understanding of the fact that we missed an entire year of school, and they were just so warm. So it was amazing. So the family atmosphere on campus is just so amazing, even from like the upperclassmen, them welcoming the class of 1824, the class of 25 to campus. So it'd definitely be family.
Thank you. Is anybody else up for this challenge? Personally, I wouldn't, but if you're up for it, okay, Naya.
I was going to say multifaceted. I think one of the first things that I learned when I got to Howard is how amazing the student body was. I also come from a predominantly white small town, Chapel Hill, North Carolina. So as I believe it was Summer or Autumn, I can't remember, that said, being that token Black student is something that you grow up with. So when I came here, you really have to find yourself, because these accolades that you thought made you stand out, you were the president of National Honor Society, you were the president of 5 other clubs, you were the captain of this, you were the first to do this. Every person to your right and your left also did that too. So while this also fosters a competitive atmosphere, it fosters an environment where people are counting on you and people believe in you just the same. We all want each other to succeed. And in that way, that's what I mean by multifaceted. It's everyone here is talented in some way. And that's something that you might not see at another school the way that I believe that I've seen it the last 4 years.
You just summed Howard up perfectly. So thank you for that, both Naya and Autumn. So Olivia, I was wondering, how important is service to Howard and our culture here?
Oh, it's definitely super embedded within, again, our culture and our position as students at Howard. And I'm just even thinking back into the application process being holistic and really just highlighting the fact that you want to be a contributing member of this Howard community, and how you do that, or how you necessarily stand or prove. And even what Naya had just mentioned, that whole idea of being multifaceted, a great part of that is just really taking on those leadership positions, taking on that action to want to be invested in all the things that you do, specifically through service work. And quite literally, our motto here at Howard is in truth, in service. And I'm just thinking about the various things that I've been part of and things that the greater majority of our campus community involve themselves in, including alternative spring break, where students quite literally give up that week of rest, potential rest at least, and go on to various places throughout this country or abroad to really just dedicate that week in time to connecting not only with other Howard students, but within the communities that they're invested in through various initiatives. In addition to that, we also regularly participate in Day of Service. It's kind of like the breaking point of like different quarters and semesters, and big, large events here at Howard University starts off with service. And it's just that reminder that, yeah, we can have fun. Yes, we can come together and enjoy ourselves. But at the end of the day, we are that community, and we have to take care of the community that not only hosts our inner community of Howard students, but extended throughout the DC area and the various people that are interconnected with that. And just even taking that step further in our sub communities through organizations, sports teams, and even some of our classes. It's like a requirement at times, but it doesn't really feel that way when you want to do it, you know? So just really embedded in just about everything and anything that you can encounter here at Howard is service.
Thank you for debunking party myths. As much as we love to party here at Howard, we love to do some service as well. So our final question of the night is going to Ocean. And I was wondering, what are some of your favorite things that you enjoy doing in Washington, D.C.?
So one of the things I really enjoyed doing in DC is probably going to other campuses. So freshman year, I was able to connect with a lot of people from Georgetown, GW, American, and Catholic, and really just being able to connect to those Black student unions, ASAs, really just impacted my whole experience being in DC, because I was able to go to other campuses, have people that could put me on, and then kind of go to that separate section of DC and kind of get a vibe for what the culture is and get a feeling for, you know, like what they do for fun. So being able to kind of be there, explore different parts of DC and really learning my area, and then expanding upon that and going to like Maryland and Virginia, those are like really good. Those are like the best things to do in DC, because like I said, traveling and then connecting with other people in college kind of expands your network and just allows you to expose yourself to things that you may or may not know.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to give our panelists a round of applause. You guys are phenomenal. I know all of you, after literally hearing most of you list all of your activities, I know you all are very, very busy. So thank you guys so much for participating in our panel. And yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you for allowing us to participate. It's always great to share.
This concludes our program for this evening. We'd like to thank everyone for joining us, and we hope that you all decide to visit us and apply to the Mecca, Howard University. Good night, everyone.